How's it going, PhinManiacs? This is Shawn Williams. Today we got an incredibly special show for you. Here with me today is legendary left tackle of the Miami Dolphins, Richmond Webb. Everybody welcome Richmond.
Hey, welcome, Shawn. Welcome, everybody. How you doing today, sir?
Good, very good. Super excited to get the chance to talk to you. It's been a great year so far for the Miami Dolphins. You were around for some pretty great times as well. You see any similarities between your teams and this?
Well, I think the attitude is probably the same. You know, the difference is when Coach Flores got here last year, he had to kind of like strip everything down, kind of like if you were doing restoring a car or whatever, get everything down to the metal and then start priming and putting everything back together. But him and Chris Greer, the GM or whatever, they came up with a plan, and they've come up with an attitude of team first and not, individual players or individual results. And I know it was going to be a little rough last year, but I knew it was going to get better, but I didn't think it was going to get better this quick. So I'm very excited and happy in the direction that the team is going right now.
Yeah, it's incredible. It has a special feeling to it. I've been watching the Miami Dolphins for as long as I can remember. I'm 33. Most of my life were tough times. This year just feels different. Last year even felt a little bit different. Unfortunately, we lost one of the greats this past year. Your coach, Don Shula, you had the pleasure of playing for him for a few years. Do you see any similarities between the two of them?
Yeah, both very smart coaches. Coach Flores, I had an opportunity to meet him last year. The Dolphins came to Dallas and played a game, and fortunate enough, the Dolphins hooked me up with some tickets. So I went out to the game, and before the game and warming up, I got an opportunity to meet Coach Flores, and I had heard great things about him. But just the way he kind of conducted himself during the interviews, and when I heard, his resume, how he had worked for New England for 15 years and, Coach Belichick and the way, he runs things up there, I knew that he was groomed the right way. And then the other thing that was just a huge positive for me was he had done coaching, but he had also done scouting, while he was up there. So you get the best of both worlds in a guy like that. And then you start hearing his first interviews, his expectations and stuff like that. I was excited, and then getting to talk to some people in the front office with the Miami Dolphins, and it was like, we got the right guy this time. Everybody was confident, this and that just made me feel tremendously confident last year. Even though it was early in the season, I knew he was going to have to go through a rough spot. But I said, if we got the right guy, he's going to turn it around. And hey, it's a great time to be a Dolphin right now, I can tell you that.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And Flores really preaches grit and grinding and the hard work. And I feel like growing up outside of Dallas, Texas, where football is king, that would have fit you pretty well. Can you kind of tell us what it was like growing up in Dallas playing football out there?
Yeah, grew up, being originally from Dallas. A coach, kind of put in that same class with Coach Shula was Tom Landry. And, same thing, just a disciplined Christian guy, this and that. And then, grew up a Cowboy fan, then went on to Texas A&M, and then got an opportunity to come to Miami and then play for Don Shula, which I already knew about him, watching the Marx Brothers and Marino on Monday night on, high school and college, and then actually getting the opportunity to walk in the huddle with those guys, knowing the resume that they already had. So the good thing when I got to Miami, it was already a winning tradition. And, from Dan and Mark Duke, Mark Clayton, those were the guys that groomed me and taught me how to be a professional and what the expectations were, this and that. And, you come in as a rookie, but if you wasn't going to do it the right way, they was going to get you out of there. So I had great leadership, and me and Q Sims came in together, and we got groomed, and we fell right in line. So we had some great years when I was there.
Yeah, you sure did. So I've always wondered for players, once they found out they've been drafted to the Miami Dolphins, is there an extra amount of excitement that you get to go live and get paid to be in South Florida
Well,
as
I'm
opposed to somewhere like Buffalo?
well, that was the main thing. I was praying, and my main thing was to go somewhere warm. And when I got that call that Sunday morning from Coach Shawn and said, "You ready to be a Dolphin?" I was like, "Yes, sir." I said, "I got the beach, I got warm weather, I got palm trees, nothing to complain about." And then you get to go to an organization was known for winning. So um, that was the thing. It was all pluses for me. It wasn't a hard sell for me. So I was definitely happy and proud to become a Miami Dolphins when I got that call.
I bet. So rookie year, you came in, immediate impact, made the Pro Bowl, first of 7 Pro Bowls as a rookie. What was it like going to that and playing in that game your rookie season?
It was. I mean, the cool thing about that, from what I remember, is it was toward the end of the season, and then I can remember we were in a team meeting, and Coach Shula announced the guys that actually made the Pro Bowl, but I was the last guy that he announced, and it caught me by surprise. But what really made it good was I could tell that Coach Shula was happy for me, and all my teammates was happy for me. I mean, we just had a good group cluster of guys that we supported each other, and I think that's so important. Not just on the field, but you got to practice with these guys. The camaraderie and that's huge, and just the support from them, and then to go to Hawaii and then play in that game and meet some of the guys that's the best of the best. And I was just a rookie, so I was kind of in awe, and everybody welcomed me with open arms and this and that, and it was just the best feeling. That's about the best way I can explain it.
Oh yeah, I bet I would have been completely starstruck, almost like I am now in this interview. I wouldn't be able to imagine being, 20 something years old, looking around the field and seeing legends everywhere and knowing, man, I belong here.
Yeah,
I'm supposed to be here.
yeah, and as an offensive lineman, that's tough. Normally if you're a running back or something like that, you have the numbers or whatever, but be an offensive lineman, and then most of the time you're voted on back then by the defensive players. So to have that type of respect and guys recognize you, coming in the league like that, it was truly special. And I got to meet, like Bruce Smith, Derek Thomas,
Yeah.
Smith, all these guys that's been, balling for years in the NFL, and then getting to interact with them and stuff. That was really cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. So every position on the offensive line is obviously important, but was it more intimidating being Dan's blindside blocker?
Well, that was one of the reasons I think me and Keith Sims was brought in, and I think early on we knew even when we got there. Not saying we was going to just start right away, which we didn't know, but the thing about it was the 2 veterans that had played the year before, they were holding out for contract negotiations. So me and Keith got all the reps during training camp, preseason, this and that, and then that month before training camp started, we were down there, and Coach John Sandusky was our line coach, one of the best to ever play the game, and really worked with us and really got us ready and did the preparation stuff. But it was almost unheard of to put 2 rookies on the blind side of a quarterback, and not just any quarterback, but a guy, Dan Marino, which he was one of the best. It was like him, Elway, Montana. He was, the elite of the elite quarterbacks, and to throw 2 rookies on the blind side, that was almost unheard of. But I think Coach Shula just had that expectation is, this is what you got to get done. But I was just like, I don't want to be the guy that's remembered as getting this guy hurt. So that was my main incentive, was do whatever at all costs to not get beat, and get hurt, because he was a legend already in South Florida when I got there.
Yeah. So I live in Rochester, New York, not far from Buffalo, so I'm well versed in the Buffalo Bills. Unfortunately, you spent a great portion of your decade going up against one of the best defensive ends in Bruce Smith. What what one game or what moment stands out the most about that battle you guys had throughout your career?
Yeah, I would probably say, we had some good battles, but I think my rookie year we played up there in a playoff game, and it was just back and forth. I think we lost. It was like 44-34, something like that. But it was in the snow. I can remember that. But it was always a tough place to play. It was just one of those games where we would score a lot, they would score a lot, but then we would always kind of stumble where we'd have to kick a field goal or something, and they would end up beating us. But I tell people all the time, the Buffalo Bills teams in the early '90s was one of the best in the NFL, and they went to 4 straight Super Bowl. They didn't win, but man, just the talent on that team, not just defensively but offensively, it was amazing. But Bruce was a handful, and you knew you had him for 4 quarters, and you better buckle your chin strap tight because it was going to be hell for 4 quarters.
Yeah. So, I mean, I've gone to a lot of Dolphins games at the what was formerly known as the Ralph, and I know how terrible it is to be a Dolphins fan inside that stadium. So I can't even imagine the pressure or what that environment must be like for you guys, for opposing players, for division rivals. Like, do you feel that on the field? Do you feel the craziness that goes on in that stadium?
No question. And when I had to look it up because, you have rivalries. You had rivalries in college and this and that, but it was just seemed like an extreme amount of hate for the Dolphins when we come up there. I was like, man, what is up? And I had one of the old media guides or whatever, and I was just kind of reading through it and this and that. And then I looked, and I think in the 70s, the Dolphins beat the Bills like 20 times in a row. You know what I'm saying? So every chance I say, oh, okay, now I get it now. I say, I see this hate been spewing for a long time. But one thing I admire about Buffalo Bill, they're die hard, and they're going to support their team to the end. And that was one of the loudest outdoor stadiums I've had to play in at times, especially when, things got tight or whatever. So they was going to do everything to give their team an edge, and I respect them for that.
Yeah, absolutely. I know all too well, believe me. I can't even wear Dolphins gear inside that stadium anymore without getting harassed.
You're a brave man if you do that. I'll tell you that, brother.
Sure am. Besides playing in Miami, what was your favorite place to go and play on the road? Was it back home?
I would say the only thing about playing on the road, being an offensive player, not so much where we played, but if we could go up there, execute, and just take the crowd out of the game. That is the best feeling, because normally when the game starts, everybody's loud, this and that. But if we can go down and score and we jump on them and the defense gives us the ball back and we score again, it'll normally get pretty quiet to us, almost like a home game. The momentum. But if you could jump on them early, now you could take the crowd out of the game. And that's the best feeling, because then you can say, I don't have to worry about hearing the snap count. I can just go and just execute. So those were the games. But you look forward to some of the, against the Jets, against the Bills, New England, and even the Colts were in our division back then. So any of those were good games. If we could neutralize the crowd and take them out of them, that's what was fun to me right there.
Awesome. So Christmas Day 2006, you're indicted to the Dolphins Honor Roll. What was that feeling like, especially on Christmas Day? And was that the best Christmas gift you got that year?
No question. The thing that was special about that, because at first you were saying 2006, I was like, wait a minute, I had retired by then. I was like, what is he talking about? But the thing that was special was Coach Shula was there, Marino was there, and I think Marino was working for CBS, and I can't remember if that was a Monday night game or whatever, but I remember they tried to schedule where he could be there as well, and then some of my former teammates like Keith Sims and that. So, but to go up in that ring of honor, that means you've been the best of the best, and I've met a lot of those guys and hold those guys in high regard. to just be mentioned in that category was huge, and got a lot of love from the fans and stuff. And then my family was able to experience that with me as well. So that was huge there.
That's awesome. Well deserved. Probably the best left tackle to play for this franchise. So very cool. So let's talk a little bit about the new offensive line. We got 3 rookies, a couple other young guys, and Flowers and Davis. What do you think about the new offensive line?
I've been impressed. It's almost been revamped from even last year. But me and Keith were 2 rookies, but you got 3 rookies in the starting lineup plus 2 other guys. And being a former offensive lineman, you know how important communication is, and to gel with the guy that you got to play against. But these first 7-8 games, they've played pretty well. I mean, you can tell they're young, but each week I can see them continually to improve, and it's only going to get better. So I've been extremely happy with them. I love their work ethic. They've been more of a balanced attack where they can run the football and throw the football. So far, so good. They've done an extremely good job. Struggled there a couple times, but that's going to happen throughout the league. You're not going to just dominate everybody. But I've been extremely happy, and I look forward to continuing seeing their growth progress.
Yeah, so obviously you and Keith Sims came in as rookies, blocking for one of the best to ever do it. These 3 coming in, blocking in a same high-pressured situation for a guy with injury concerns, who could be the second best to ever do it for Miami. What piece of advice would you give them, seeing as how you've lived their situation, to the same importance?
I will continue to approach the way, I've really watched, Austin Jackson, and really been happy with the way he's playing. So continue to put the work in the film. Obviously, they know the playbook, because if they didn't, they wouldn't be out there. But know your game plan, stuff like that, and just continue to give the effort you give. But I think that's what separates a lot of players, is putting in that mental film work. Studying the guys you got to play against, what their tendencies are, what they like to do, this and that. Any edge you can get like that is only going to be mental. Everybody's big, strong, and fast. That's just part of the game. But the mental is where it really can elevate your game, and look like they've been doing a good job preparing each week, week in, week out. So just continue to do what you've been doing.
Absolutely. So when you're watching the games on Sundays, is it harder for you to not pay more attention to the offensive line, or can you just sit back, relax, and just enjoy the game for what it is?
I watch the game. I watch the line, but I watch the game. Sometimes I'll just really focus on the line, but sometimes if the game is going back and forth, it's high scoring, or like when Grant took that punt return back, or it's just like,
yeah,
did he just do that? So now you kind of, even now that you're not playing, you kind of transition to just a normal fan, and
yeah,
cause a turnover and take it in for a touchdown. They've done that the last 2 weeks in a row. So you pay attention to the line, but you pay attention to the whole game. And when we start winning close games and going on the road and can win a game like we did against the Cardinals, that was a huge win for us. I'm just like a kid in a candy store, bro. I'm happy just like everybody else.
Yeah. So we got Tua, we got Coach Flo. Seems like we might have an offensive line. We definitely seem to have a defense. Can we go to the playoffs this year? Are we going to the playoffs this year?
If we don't, we're going to be pretty close. That wasn't my expectation, considering how, we finished up really strong. I think we won 5 games last year, but we possibly could have won additional 2 games, which was tremendous. I didn't expect that the first year. Now we're 5-3. We're 1 game out of first place. So if they continue to play, I mean, each week they're getting better and better. You've seen the progress between, it was a little limited, seemed like, with the playbook with 2 of the first game, but they didn't have to because of defense. That took care of business. But you really seen him open it up, and you see his skill set. So I think we possibly will have a great chance, just depending on injuries and stuff. A lot of time that plays key, but
That's true.
I could see us. I could see us making the playoffs. And the thing that's really been impressive is watching the draft the last couple of years, and the guys that we're taking are producing. You know what I'm saying? We hadn't really had bust, and that's why I say Coach Flores, Coach Greer, they've done a tremendous job putting this thing together, this and that, and they're going to continue to add. So even if we don't make the playoffs this year, he's got to hit in the right direction. So I think we got a shot. I mean, if you'd asked me at the beginning of the year, I was like, but the way they're playing now, I think we got a legitimate shot to get in there. I do.
Yeah, it's exciting. Any thoughts on this weekend's game? It's a big rookie quarterback matchup.
It is.
Might be down a couple of defenders.
There are, the thing is, what's good about this is, and I even hear the Dolphin fans, but, we got Tua, they got Herbert, whatever, both great young quarterbacks, which is good for the NFL. But our guy is Tua. I think we're going to come out and win the game. We're at home. That's a plus for us. And I think the way that we're playing smart football, not saying that San Diego won't be able to put up points, but we're learning how to finish games and win games regardless of what happens. So I picked the Dolphins again this week to win this game as well. I think we're in a nice little rhythm right now, and I think we're going to win again this week.
Cool. Last question. I know you're an offensive guy. My favorite player currently on the team is Xavier Howard. What's your thoughts on him? And have you seen someone who just has the ball skills and talent that guy has? I mean, I think some people take him for granted what he brings to the team. He does some special things for the Dolphins.
Ain't no question. He's a leader. He's one of the leaders on the defense, and he's a playmaker. And he just started this year. He's been that type of way throughout his whole career. So definitely a valuable asset to the team, to the defense. And like you say, the other pieces are coming together. Shaq Lawson, boy, all these guys are coming together, and you see it. So that's why I say you're not going to have to just worry about the Dolphins' offense. You're going to have to worry about the defense as well. So I'm seeing all this come together, and I said, man, once it all come together, we're going to be one of those teams that people highlight, say, man, we got to play them, but we don't want to play them. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
I say it's a great time. But Howard, I love him. He's been playing. He's been playing well. They went after him a little bit last game, but that ain't no big deal. He's still the man.
Oh, for sure. I mean, he held Hopkins to 30 yards, and I don't know about some of those DPIs that were called anyway. So he'll have another tough matchup with Keenan Allen this weekend. But I have faith in the Dolphins, Coach Flo. Team's becoming pretty nasty in a good way. Love their attitude.
He accepts the challenge. They don't run away from it, and that's the identity of this team. It doesn't matter who we play. They just say, hey, you put your pants on the same way we do. Let's get after it.
Absolutely. All right, Richmond, that's all I got. I appreciate you again for coming on here, going back and forth with me on Twitter. It's been a pleasure. Hopefully we can do it again soon, and we can stay in touch.
Sounds good, brother. Hey, you have a blessed day, and let's beat the hell out of those Chargers this weekend, and that'll just make it even better.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.